News First, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
And top of the week to you, this is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo and broadcasting on TV1, a proud member of the Capital Maharaja Group. Now then, as we start the week, we've got a nice subject to talk about, a subject that is always of concern, and it is always, it's sort of omnipresent in our daily lives. And to talk about that issue, which is policing, is the former IGP, Mr. Chandra Fernando, right here in the studio with us. Very good morning to you, Mr. Fernando, IGP Fernando.
Morning.
Once an IGP, always an IGP, is it? Is that how they refer to you?
The people say so.
Right. Well, it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to welcome you onto Newsline. Now then, do you notice, IGP, a correlation between economic hard times and crime?
Definitely, you know, it has to be seen from different angles. If you see from the foreign investment side,
yeah,
if there is crime, especially where economic crime is concerned,
yeah,
I have experience because I'm a lawyer. There are a lot of what you call investors. They do come,
yeah,
and request me for their assistance because I studied in Japan, and most of them are Japanese firms, Japanese entrepreneurs. They come, they ask, and the first thing that they ask is, what is the crime level? What is the investment? Are we secure? What is the risk involved in this? How is the government? Whether there will be future, whether there will be nationalization. And that type of fear is there. So we need to speak to them and then take the fear out. In many cases I have done so. So that is one area where the foreign investments are concerned. We need to give them a very, what do you call, a safe area, safe investment area. They want that.
A sort of a safe zone.
Safe zone. And they are also looking for labor law.
Right.
Sri Lankan labor law is more towards the labor. I mean the sense.
The employer.
Employee.
Or the employee.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's another thing that they are very concerned about it. Where I'm telling this with experience, I'm looking after about 17 Japanese, Koreans, Indians and Sri Lankan companies. They are very worried about the attitude of the employees, attitudes of the, what do you call, the trade unions.
Right.
And they don't have a free way of doing business.
Right. So obviously crime is one of those key components in an investment making process.
Definitely law and order situation
Right.
is a thing that the people see.
Indeed. And what the people hear and sometimes see through the medium of television and also they read about through the newspapers is this. And that is patronage, interference, that the police are forever and a day and another day are interfered with by people wielding power, usually political power, almost as if it's a fact. So I might as well ask you first, did you ever get, is that true? There must be. Is there political influence?
Yes, that depends on the individual.
Right.
If a leadership, a person who has kept his position,
Yeah.
he will not, there is no need to bow down to any pressure.
Right.
But if you
What do you do, IGP, when you get that call from a local politician? I mean, this silly system, isn't it? When the OIC of a particular police station needs to be endorsed by the local political representative, they need, some organizer needs to recommend. What is this organizer doing in between?
This happened after 1972.
Right.
Before that, there was no, I don't say completely zero,
Yeah.
but there was to some extent
Yeah.
where appointment of Inspector General of Police. But unfortunately, after 1972,
Yeah.
the interference was more. And
What happened in 72?
That was a time where, you see, the what you call the government in power
Yeah.
was more progressive, and they influenced, they wanted to influence the police so that they have a hand in the local policing work.
Right. Okay.
This is exactly what happened with the insurrections.
Yeah.
That was the
This
outcome.
is the start of the insurgency.
Insurgency.
So what we call the JVP, the
JVP,
first lot
yeah.
of the JVP insurgency.
So this came in 1999, it became climax. In 1999, we saw something happening where people were talking, police is corrupt, hands off police, keep the police away, let the police do the job. Then the commission, concept of commission came in, police commission. If you read the answer, why they wanted the police commission established is that they want the politics to play, not to play with the police. Make the police free. But that has not happened because the people who have been appointed to the police commission are more or less on the recommendation of the politicians, unfortunately.
What did you do in your time? You must have had a few calls.
Yeah, definitely I had.
Were they worse before you became IGP, or did it become more after becoming IGP?
It's actually, if you are in power, in the sense, if you are in charge of a police station,
Yeah.
if you are in charge of a division, if you are in charge of a range,
Yeah.
if you are an IG police, these are the
Main call centers.
centers. The calls will come.
Those are the main call centers.
Call centers.
Right.
For me, I was long in the police headquarters, and I was doing promotions and training. For promotions, they try to influence, but it was an examination.
Right.
So it was easy for me to say they have to pass the exam.
Right.
If they fail the exam, nothing
Yeah.
could be done.
Nothing could be
Nothing
done.
could be done. So that was that. The system was very clear. There were no politics where the examinations were concerned, where the promotions were given.
Right.
Unfortunately, the system, they deviated from this system in 1999 when I went out of the training.
I see. You went out of the
Training,
Right.
and I took over the research area.
Now then, how did you personally deal with these telephone calls?
Normally, as Inspector General of Police, I'll explain to you one instance,
Yeah.
very clear. I was in office one Saturday.
Yeah.
So about 1 p.m., I
Yeah.
got a call from a very strong politician
Right.
and said, why are
What
you...
was that? You don't want to tell us the name then?
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Good.
This is coming in my memories. The book will become...
Good. You're right.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. Come on.
And said, why are you keeping this person
Yeah.
without any reason?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't know the facts of this case.
Yeah.
I said, please give me 5 hours, I will come back to you.
Right.
I visited the scene with the investigators,
Right.
and we found the blood marks plus some suspected prints. So actually, to your naked eye, you can't see prints. So what I did was, I got the director fingerprints to send someone, take the prints immediately, go through it, analyze it, and let me know what the position.
Right.
And I said to compare with the prints of the person who had been arrested.
Right.
And I gave him 3 hours. He said he can't do it, but I said, please do it. I need this. At 4 p.m., he gave me a call, 3 out of 20,
Okay.
something like that. So I was confident. Immediately I got a call and gave and told, I'm sorry, please, I cannot release this person. And finally, he was convicted. Now he's in jail. Since then,
what did the politician do?
I did not have any issues. He respected me, and he used to call me Hurwallada Mahatte.
Right.
Thereafter, I was very close to the person. In fact, treated me well, and there were no interference at all. So that is the leadership that required.
So you exercised your leadership,
yes.
and so they didn't mess about with you.
Same with the present people also. They do have certain amount of leadership qualities, but they are forced. The situation is this: we have to retire at the age of 60 as the Inspector General of Police.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone need to bow down to anybody where the Inspector General of Police is concerned.
Yeah.
Because if he is to be taken out, you have to go to Parliament. That safeguard is there.
I see.
So you don't need to worry about this. So these are things that we need to remind.
But the IGP has that. But what about somebody lower down the scale?
Yeah, even
they don't have that protection of Parliament.
No, they don't have the protection of Parliament, definitely. That is why we have the Police Commission. If it is functioning well.
I see. Now then, the reason I'm asking you about this is this, that it appears to us that when there is no interference, Sri Lanka's police seem to do a pretty damn good job, and people respect that. But I mean, some cases appear to be fascinating. The manner in which they did, they got to the bottom of the perpetrators of the attempted assassination of then Defense Secretary here at the bottom of Flower Road, you know, at Pittanahandi. That was fascinating because they went on this one SIM, which was found in a smouldering mobile telephone.
Yeah.
And that analysis of that SIM, the incoming and outgoing calls, led to the arrest and later conviction of the perpetrator of that potential crime there. Then we had I don't know, there are so many other cases where it's so fascinating that it appears that all this potentially good work or this potential good that the police can deliver upon society is impinged on by political patronage. By and large, I mean, in this current parliament, somebody said the other day, around 90 something members didn't have basic educational qualification. Not that I am saying that, but what I'm saying is that even without that, once they reach this level of certain power, they phone up and think that they can fix things.
Yes, I do agree with you. There is political interference.
How good is our police?
They are equally good as other international police organizations.
What about the investigations?
Even investigations, the basic principle of investigation is you are going from known to unknown. So the police should be given a free hand to do investigations. If somebody interferes, don't take this person into custody, don't call him, don't call his to make a statement or take a statement in a different way. Yeah. These are the interference.
Now, IGP, I want to ask you this. Sorry, nothing personal here, nothing personal, but in the wider context. As you know, this network was being attacked, has been attacked. Our security cameras pick things up and have picked it up, and it is recorded, and it's always being recorded in case thinking to launch another attack. But what has happened to those people? These things have been captured by our cameras, And it's there. It's not some drama that we made up in Stein Studios. This is fact, real-time cameras. Up to now, no investigation. Well, I don't know about no investigation, but no result. And you don't know half the amount of times. It's sometimes difficult to recruit people, especially the young, because their parents thinking that we're going to a place that got attacked. And we say, well, you know, we're still in business. What would you say about that?
I think I'm unable to understand this. If a complaint is being made, the complainant has the right to know what action has been taken by the police.
Yeah.
If proper action, nothing has happened, there are forums that need to go through.
IGP,
Yes.
I hear what you say, but I also know that Lasantha Wickramatunge, a friend of this network, and easily, thus far, the most outspoken journalist this country has ever produced, and his trade was to get to the truth, to move, as you've earlier said in a conversation, to move from the known to the unknown. And he was killed within yards of a high security zone in the morning. They must have done the forensic analysis of the telephone records of the different towers between Lasantha's house and Attilia Road where he was killed, and they traced his route and they eliminated all those numbers, and I think they were left with about 5 numbers, and they led somewhere. But we now know that the various police officers and so on have done something or other to impinge and to sully those investigations, and in effect let their colleagues down, but in the wider perspective to let democracy down.
Yes, in this case, I think I saw in the papers also that there have been interference with regard to investigation. But now the investigation is on a proper line.
Yeah.
So I think everything will come and the persons who are responsible will be dealt with. One day or other, this is going to come out. So
that's interesting. I like that.
We must be happy.
Yeah.
At least now it has come out and it has been investigated.
Long time ago, I spoke to Lal Wickramatunge, Lasantha's brother, and he said, you know, it'll take time, but one day we will know the truth. I thought Lal was being philosophical at that time, because it looked like we would never get to the bottom of anything, because we were at the time living, whether we like it or not, in some form of police state. There's no point us living in some rose garden thinking that we didn't. We did. We all lived in that state. I'm glad he said that. But do you think that, now, for example, there's so many others, you know, Wasim Tajuddin and so on. But yet, when the police want to, like the murder of Khurram Sheikh, the British tourist killed in Tangol on, I think, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like that case, like the case of, but even that took a long time and a lot of international concern. And then Justice Amepiti's case. Now, those were solid investigations. So you can understand, can you not, that our concern, so many colleagues of ours have been attacked and done all sorts of jolly things and done to them. So what chance is proper judicial?
This is the very reason in 1999, as I said before, they brought in a commission called the Police Commission to make the police more free to do their work. Very unfortunately, the Police Commission who were appointed did not know their role properly.
You know, IGP, our telephone number, this telephone number here is advertised to invite the public to send us questions, and they constantly do. One question I've got here is this, and this is obviously an avid viewer and follower of news, and is venturing to say that Lasantha Wickrematunge died in the pursuit of the truth, and he died just 2 days after our own network was Claymore bombed. Our main control place was bombed, and he came there. The images of him coming there and inspecting it and giving a statement on camera there will never leave me. But it's sad that since his death, the newspaper that he was associated with and he helped form and found essentially sold its soul to the political masters of the time, or to proxies of political masters at the time. And the brand died on the day that Lasantha died. And even the shareholders, especially the principal shareholder, just sold out without a care for what Lasantha stood for, the pursuit of the truth and certain very high ideals. And he was, this whole thing just collapsed, right? And therefore our trauma is greater when there is no closure. It's, this happened in 2009. Today we are in 2018. The people who tried to kill Gota are behind bars. Prabhakaran has been eliminated with. KP miraculously ended up in this.
See, investigative journalism is a matter that we need to encourage. Lasantha was more on investigative journalism.
Yes.
Right.
So it's like us. It's like us, this network. We've got loads and loads of footage, and we know lots of things, which we will release in time.
Definitely. Now, as I told you, it may be delayed, but when I read the papers or when I speak with other people, my idea is there will be justice in this case, particularly.
Right.
You can see certain things that are happening. But remember that according to our law, everything has to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. That's the most thing.
From our perspective, the public, there is nothing more to do other than to see a dead body. To us, that's the proof, and we need action.
Yeah, it's very correct. There is a dead body. Something, as a person has died.
Yeah.
Now, the law has its own course of doing things. You can't, we have to be very careful where the golden rule of justice is 1,000 people who are guilty could be released, but if an innocent man is found guilty, there is no justice in the country. So the law is very, very, very strong in that point. That is why they say criminal law especially, proof beyond reasonable doubt has to be. So if investigators find and the Attorney General's Department advise the police, do this way, get it, go to the point, then there will be some conviction, but it has to be proved beyond reasonable doubt.
A question from the Hill Country, from Kandy, says that there are constant claims that the police commission is ineffective. What's your observation on that?
I think the police commission cannot understand their role. Their main role is to keep the police independent. Now, recruitment, promotions, discipline, all powers have been given like the Public Service Commission. Public Service Commission never interfered in that way. There was no conflict between the heads. But very unfortunately we have seen two, where Mr. Indra De Silva had conflict with the what you call the police commission. And now the police commission is saying that the present IG is not listening to the police commission.
Well, he doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to be, because there are all sorts of jolly things happening. The FCID, trumpeted to be the main engine to solve corruption of the previous government and so on, we find that senior DIG is retired or whatever it is, then he's appointed, then people are getting transferred out, files are getting transferred out, and this so-called tiger is now nothing but a toothless tiger.
No, there I think you need to go to the bottom of the case, where Inspector General of Police was very firm in getting this man retired.
Right.
Because there is a complaint being inquired into.
Yeah.
Police Commission on the other side wanted to re-employ him.
Right.
Right. There's reasons to these things.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the reasons.
No.
I'm asking why the Police Commission is interested in this. Why is the Police
But who
Commission?
is the arbiter of this crime?
No, the thing is this.
Or of this supposed crime?
The Police Commission, I don't know why they are, what is the role that they need to play? If I was the
If you are a police officer and you're being wronged and you can't fight it because, you know, the people who are at the bottom of it are your superiors, where do you go to as a police officer?
No,
as a service
that
police
is the
officer?
appellate body is there, the Police Commission. But the Police Commission, you know, before anything, they must investigate and see why the police, the Inspector General of Police says he should be retired. Why?
What about who decides whether there is a prima facie case for that complaint?
The Police Commission. No, I mean the Inspector General of Police.
So he is the judge and the jury then?
And then thereafter the Police Commission says, because they are the, what they call the...
That doesn't sound right, IGP.
No, no, no. Let me explain to you. The IG police is SIU or the investigating team. They are the people who will investigate.
Right.
Not the Police Commission.
Right.
Police Commission doesn't have that, what they call the power and the material to do investigations.
So it's legally they have no standing?
No standing.
Right.
Once the complaint is inquired into it,
Yeah.
then the police, the police headquarters, the IG police, send that to the Police Commission. So if there is a flaw in that, definitely they must communicate with the IG police.
Right. But then we see the IG photographed with all sorts of undesirable elements. And then we are wondering what on earth he's doing. Because, you know, if you're a judge, for example, you can't be going from club to club. And fraternizing with the
Can I
public.
explain this too?
Yeah.
I can remember in 1986, I went for a training to Bramshill Police College, where we had a session on public speaking, then interview by the TV. And they selected me out of the international, there were 12 or 15 to face. What I say is, there is a difference between visibility and credibility.
I see.
You need to know what you see is not the truth sometimes.
I'm going to finish our program with this from a member of the public who sent this in to us. Today, the police force is a disgrace. They only investigate opponents of the government and to clear the public from the roads when VIP motorcades are moving. They are like the private security force of the politicians. A quick answer to that, IGP,
I think,
Chandra Fernando.
that's an exaggeration, I would say.
Right. But that's a perception.
But it's a perception. What I would say to the community is, get the Police Commission to be active, to make the police safe, for the police to do the work. That's the most important thing. Ask the Police Commission to make the police independent.
IGP Chandra Fernando, thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure having you on the program. And do come back and tell us about the book about crime prevention. But I think the best form of crime prevention is to have a really, truly strong, independent police force. A force in which we, the public, can have all our confidence in there. I believe that that is the best form of policing that can go on.
Certainly. Police Commission should do more to make the police independent.
There you are, you heard it on Newsline from IGP Chandra Fernando. Take care, God bless.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.